Hi Taurus, welcome to your end of July 2021 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. I'm just starting over again because I was going to edit it and I thought, you know what, it's just easy. I just started it. Might as well just start over again. There is going to be a full moon on the 23rd or 24th of July, depending on where you live, and it will be at 1 degree of Aquarius, and that will be in your ninth house. Your 10th house. The reason I said ninth house was I was thinking of myself because I have Taurus rising and I'm a late degree, and it's going to actually be in my ninth house, not my 10th house. So, for the rising sign, I guess you would have to know all of that information, but I don't typically. These are I do these for the sun signs. Okay, so the 10th house can be a indication that success is at hand, because this is a culmination of something, and there's going to be a blue moon in the same house next month. So you're going to have two of these suckers. But the other thing that a full moon can do is bring something to completion. So something has, I wouldn't say outlived its usefulness, but maybe you've gone as far as you can go in a certain situation. So this can obviously apply to all areas of life, but this is the central theme in the last half of the month because we have the Death card. Now you notice in this deck that they make a point of saying rebirth because maybe they want to assure people this isn't something that's necessarily so bad. And they have in between those two words that sideways 8, which is the infinity symbol. I'm trying to figure out exactly what that figure is, if that is supposed to be somebody's, head covering and scarf, and then in the middle, and that's kind of like an interesting depiction of the Death card. But the Death card is about transformation, and it really speaks to how change is inevitable in life. There's nothing in this material world that ever remains the same. And, we have to be willing to operate in that knowing, or else, suffering is something that is exacerbated when you expect life to stay the same. I have Taurus rising. I get it. But it's the earth element is so connected to the tangible that it can feel like, oh my gosh, this thing is gone and I feel threatened by it being gone, or it's going to be gone. This can be a time of great transformation for you. And if you are willing to explore it, it certainly can. And it's interesting that I got this in the past position. I love this. This is so cool. Ace of Swords. Now you can see this is kind of like that shell, or was it the snail or something? But it's like there's that light emanating from it. Now the swords represent thoughts and communication in general. And so the Ace of Swords to me is like new information coming to you, maybe new downloads, maybe new exposure to new ideas. And because Uranus is transiting through Taurus and will be for several years to come, this is going to continue, and this is going to change you. And maybe that's what the Death card is. It's like you're already seeing those shifts within yourself, and it may feel a little bit disconcerting, and maybe even to people around you, but it's opening you up a lot more, and that's never a bad thing. This can also be like, because there's that light emanating, I feel like this can be really seeing a situation for what it is. So if you were in denial about something in your life, this can make you feel like you have seen the light, you know exactly what somebody was trying to pull on you, and you're not going to fall for it anymore. And that can free you from some kind of situation where maybe you were operating under some deluded state and you were allowing yourself to be taken advantage of, or what have you. Or even if you were like looking for direction in life, that could be it as well. The higher message is the Queen of Swords. And a lot of times this can be like that you have to make a decision about something, and you've been through a lot, and you see the woman, she's deep in thought, because maybe things are not that cut and dried, and your emotions are really engaged in a certain way, and it feels hard to make that decision, but you have to do so. An example, this is a classic situation with a serious relationship where you may know that something has finally ended. So let's say, I know this is a horrible thing to contemplate, but let's say that you have found out that your partner has been unfaithful and that this is not the first time. Or maybe even like that they have an addiction that they have fallen off the wagon from. And they have promised over and over again they were going to stop, and they didn't do it. And you realize that this is just an ongoing pattern. And it's like the Ace of Swords is like seeing the light in that dysfunctional pattern. And the Queen of Swords means you have to make that decision about, like, for instance, are you going to leave that situation? And you have to override those sentimental tendencies that may keep you there. Fixed signs can stay, people say, oh, Leo or maybe even Taurus is so loyal and stuff like that. But a lot of times it can be that fear of the unknown, the fear of change. And I think with the Death card, ultimately, that this is saying that, our lives in the material world are temporary. And it's like, do you really want to spend your life being miserable if you're in a situation that doesn't do it for you anymore, just because you can avoid change, when you're gonna have to face change eventually? And the truth is that sometimes it gets so bad that you leave, but at that point you might be so worn down. A toxic relationship can wear you down physically too. It's not just psychologically. And so anyway, what crosses you, even though this is a card of angst, it sure is I like the colors and the things like that. I like how it's black and white and then has that red. The Three of Swords is the card that crosses you. Now, the Three of Swords is a card of, heartbreak, and also one of the important themes of the Three of Swords is cutting something quickly, cleanly off, like a clean break. Now, I can see that some of you, if you are in a dysfunctional relationship, it may be on again, off again. And so sometimes you're with that person and then you can't stand it anymore and you leave and then you come back. And the problem with those kinds of situations is that it leads to, just a back and forth type of thing. It's not something that is, very, it's not necessarily very healthy for you, because it never is decisive, and it just, you try to get away from it, and when you go back, it's like you're going back into you're leaving the fire and back into the frying pan, and you just thought you got away from the fire. What's coming in? The Temperance card. This is a card of balance in your life, if you've been feeling like there's so much intensity, there's so much um, pressure on you to change, part of that is embracing the spiritual, I think, because you've got the material down pat. And, taking comfort in, yeah, I was saying taking solace in the spiritual, Taurus, can help you to weather those changes in life that can feel very um, unnerving and just kind of unsettling, you know, and it can keep you on an even keel. So I did get a card in the that I'll show you. It was a Chariot card for the outcome, and this is a card in the upright position that can point to victory, and especially if there's like opposing forces. And because it's in the challenge position, you may still be stuck in duality. You may still believe that a situation is either bad or good. And this is a result of finite thinking, of black and white, black and white thinking. So I did pick a clarification card, and I got the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So here's the upright position. So this is one of those cards where I look at the reversed position as a better indicator of what it means. So basically, with these last two cards, what I would say is to work on what might be your work to do at this point in this last half of the month. Deals with the idea of limited thinking, of thinking that you have to make choices that are less than ideal because, scarcity consciousness. Now, this is in the reversed position, so it suggests to me that you're able of overcoming these tendencies if you choose to acknowledge them and work with them. It's interesting, the Five of Pentacles actually connects with Mercury and Taurus. And so the way that, Mercury is the mindset, and Taurus is an earth sign, and it's a fixed sign, so there can be rigidity in one's beliefs. And with Taurus, the issue of, since Taurus rules the second house of earned income, it can be about, limited, like there's only enough to go around, but we can take that mentality and apply it to anything in life. I have to keep this job because, something better might not come along. I have to stay in this relationship, even though I'm really unhappy. What if I'm this age, I'll never find anybody else. These kinds of beliefs can stay with a person until they work with them. And, sometimes people use affirmations, meditation, other types of techniques to loosen that hold over lack consciousness, So in any case, I see some really great things here for you in terms of transformation, Taurus, and I hope that this resonated with you. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.